We are back from England and France, and we had a great trip. Except for the mosquitoes. Remember that Marmite video I did? Someone sent me an article saying that there's going to be an influx of mosquitoes in the south of France. So the same person who sent me this article also said that Marmite can help keep mosquitoes away from you. Well, I got bitten up anyway, but I still like Marmite, and I loved our trip to England and France, and I'm going to tell you the 4 things or the 4 takeaways that I have from our trip. The first is I love France, and technically I've been there twice before, but both times they were just to Charles de Gaulle Airport, and then I was off to someplace else. So this is the first time that I've really traveled around France and really toured around the country. We were in the south of France. We were in a town called Vauban. We spent a day in Monaco, and we spent another day in St. Paul de Vence. They were beautiful, and the people were great too, and that brings me to number 2. The people. Everyone was really kind and really warm and welcoming to us, even though Holly and I didn't know a lot of French. Which brings me to number 3, the language. The next time I go to France, and there will be a next time because it was a great trip, I'm going to learn the language. I started learning on Babbel a few months before we left, and I was doing pretty good as far as practicing it a lot, but then I kind of fell off right before we left. So I didn't know a lot of French while I was there, and I didn't feel confident using it. But I definitely want to continue learning French because I'm going to go back to France again because it was that good. And I want to be competent when I go there and be able to use the language. And finally, Google Maps. Google Maps. Yes, Google Maps. So here's the thing. We were driving a lot, and most of the places where we were driving to, we didn't know where we were going. We didn't know how to get there. So we needed to use Google Maps, a navigator, right? But we didn't want to incur a bunch of roaming fees because we'd be traveling internationally. So here's what we did. First, we did get a plan where we spent a little bit of money to use a little bit of data. So if we were going somewhere and we didn't know how to get there, we would plug in the destination as you normally would, using either Wi-Fi or some of the data that we had bought before we left, ask for the directions as you normally would, and then turn off the cellular service. So as long as you don't get out of Google Maps, you'll still see your position on the map, and you'll still see your routes, and you'll still get turn-by-turn directions. So it's a great feature to have because you can still use Google Maps on your phone as you normally would, but you don't incur all those international roaming charges that you might if you kept on your cell service. So that's it. Those are 4 takeaways from my trip. The last one being a little travel tip for you in case you didn't know that. Again, I had a great time on the trip. It was a wonderful family vacation. I took a ton of video, and I look forward to putting that together and showing it to you. I'll have at least 1 video on London, another one on Monaco, and another one from St. Paul de Vence. So look for those in the next few weeks. Until then, bye.